Throughout the semester, our class talked about different forms of teaching, whether it was more student-centered and freedom to learn, or teacher-centered and controlled in Walden 2. The words teaching and learning were talked about and thrown around a lot in conversation, but what do these two words mean? I decided to ask my Block A teachers their take on these two words. I asked them two questions: what is teaching and what is learning?
Your two questions I cannot separate. So when I think about teaching, I have to think about learning. And so teaching and learning to me are synonymous. In order to answer the question, what is teaching, I think it has to do a lot with helping learners become believers in themselves and help them develop lifelong skills. Teaching is much about creating a democratic society in our classrooms and allowing kids to be citizens in that community. As for learning, learning is building knowledge on prior knowledge and being able to make good decisions based on good sound thinking, being an independent learner for the rest of your life. The more I know, the less I know. So learning is just a continuous process.
As I think about effective instruction and when you see learning in a classroom, I think about a teacher that has created an environment where students feel free and curious and motivated to want to learn content, and then to see how that content will fit in their life, why it has meaning, why they need to learn it. I think that as I think about teaching and learning going together, and I think that they have to go together, it's about much more than content. It is about what goes on in the personal, social, and emotional growth of an individual in that developmental part of their life. How can a teacher make it all come together and fit so that a student can have those mastery experiences that enhance self-esteem and that self-efficacy so that they'll want to continue learning throughout a lifetime?
Well, in order to explain teaching, I have to refer back to Robert Marzano. It's both an art and a science. It's combined with a well-orchestrated delivery of lessons, good instructional strategies. They should be research-based, and we should also, as teachers, have an understanding of how the brain learns. Another component of teaching is understanding how classroom management can affect students. Also knowing your students and being able to identify those teachable moments. Learning for me is lifelong. It is brain-based. We've been using David Seuss's book on how the brain learns, and we know that memory, in terms of our learning, and it takes a combination of different neurons working together. How much understanding that a student gains from reading material or listening to a lecture, watching a DVD, whatever, really has to do with the meaning that the learner can make to the new materials.
I don't think you can be a teacher without being a learner. It has to be a passion. I think I always wanted to be a teacher, and yet I don't know if I can really define what teaching is, because it's all about learning. It's just a passion, complete 100% passion. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle.